Welcome back. So now we're to the exciting part, the under contract to close in the equity mentoring program. So this is a great way for you mentees to kind of understand now that we're under contract, what's going to happen now and what do we need to do. And your mentor is going to be very crucial in this part. There's going to be some things in here I'm going to specifically say. Your mentor is going to go over that with you, so that you can kind of see it. It's much easier to do that one-on-one when you have a contract. But we just want to talk about the specifics of once you're under contract, what are the certain things that you need to do to make sure that you get this to close and that your client gets taken care of and that you get paid, because that's the exciting part. There's two sides to every contract when you're doing it. There's the transactional side, that's the dates and the forms and everything that's going on there, and you're gonna watch that really close. But then there's also the relational side. And the relational side, this is where you're gonna build your business for the future. Honestly, when you're under contract to close, if you're doing this right, you should get a referral or two from your client. So during that transaction, wouldn't that be nice? Is every time you had a transaction, you got two more? Can you see how that multiplies to just some crazy business in the future for you? So think about that when you're thinking about the relational, because a lot of times people are like, well, relational, that seems a little too touchy-feely to me. That's exactly what it is, because they're gonna see how much you care about them and they're going to refer people to you. Once you're under contract, there's a few things that you're gonna wanna go through. And one is you want to make sure that you get your file turned in correctly to equity. And your mentor is going to be able to help show you that, how you create the file in dotloop and build it out so that when you're submitting it to the payroll department here, that everybody gets everything that they need in that particular thing. So there'll be a checklist of things that you're going to need to go through. And one of the things that you're going to start to do with your client is you're going to have them start communicating with the title company really closely so that they can make sure that they've got their payoffs ordered correctly. If the buyer's there, they will make sure that they've got their lender, all their information's there, that we've got everything going on. It's under contract, so we will make sure if anybody bought a home warranty, who's paying for the home warranty, how that's being taken care of, if negotiations are being worked on and that's all been done and taken care of, but make sure that who follows up, make sure that all the repairs got done, everything was done that way. So you're going to make sure that you have all that in your under contract checklist, and that's a checklist that you get from your mentor. So it'll be something that you'll be able to see and use as you're going along. Once you've got that done, then what you're going to have is, we actually have a brochure, and it's a color-coded brochure. It's put together very nicely. And this is one of the things that you're gonna wanna go through with your mentor, because what that does is it gives you the ability to see who's doing what through this whole under contract to close. Because there's a lot of moving parts that's happening, right? We got an appraiser, we got a lender, we've got a title company, we've got, a mortgage company is getting paid off, we've got, all kinds of things, buyer and seller and all this stuff going on. So you're gonna wanna see this brochure because it's been put together very well to kind of let you know, hey, here's where you are in the process and here's who's doing this, which will make it very, very easy for you to get dates in your calendar and follow up and make sure you're staying in touch with your client. The listing agent and the selling agent, that's the one that's taking care of the buyer, that they're communicating with each other and they know exactly what's going on, timing and everything. So there's no surprises. One of the things that you don't want to have happen in this particular transaction or in any transactions, any surprises. That's where people get upset. That's where things start going crazy. And so you want to try and eliminate as many as you can. And because we have such a tremendous brochure here for you, you're going to know when the appraiser's got this, that the title company's got this, that the selling agent has this, the listing agent has this. So that way you can kind of keep notes of everywhere where you're at in this particular process. And your mentor is going to be able to be very, very valuable for you because they've got the experience, they've gone through it, and that's why you're doing this, is that you're drawing from that experience to help grow your business faster and more efficiently. Once they have their title information, the title company is going to ask for them to release information on their particular loan if you're representing the seller. And so you're gonna have an authorization from the title company that says, hey, we need to call and get payoffs. We need to get everything so that when we get a settlement, we know the money to send to pay it off. Okay, so that's very important. Let your title company get that authorization, but let your client know they're gonna be calling you to get that authorization if you're the listing agent. They're gonna wanna know that information. For the Buyer, they're going to have different things. They're going to want to know, is there any issues that they're dealing with when they're getting title and everything? So was there any bankruptcies that they went through? Is there anything that we need to see and how they're going to hold title? Are they going to hold it as a single person, as a trust? How are they going to hold title? So they're going to be talking to their side of the title company as well, and that's going to help them understand and get everything prepared so that when you get to the settlement, everything is there. Who's signing, how they're signing, and when they're signing, where the proceeds are going. All of that comes from your under contract to close and making sure that you're following that checklist to make sure that you've got everything in place so that when you get to settlement, man, that's a celebration day. Everybody's happy. The seller's happy, the buyer's happy, you're happy, the lender's happy. It's just one big happy party that goes on then. And that's when it's the best, because you're gonna get pictures of your sellers with big smiles on their faces and pictures of their buyers with a big key or something you may have that says, hey, the key to your new house. That's the day that you celebrate. That's the day that things happen. But if you do everything right to that, it is going to be a celebration. If anything goes haywire in that, then your celebration gets a little dampered. So we're going to work on that with your mentor and with you so that when you get to the end of the deal, that everything is running smoothly and going well. Let's talk about how you do that, right? Communication is key in this particular point. When a person goes under contract, sometimes I see agents go, whew, they relax and go, all right, now I gotta just wait for the closing. That could be further from the case. Now, there's a lot of things that go on there. There's some negotiations with repairs, there's appraisals, there's all that. But the key to this is first thing you wanna do is when you go under contract, you wanna send a note to the agent on the other side saying, thanks for writing the contract. I look forward to working with you. It's gonna be a seamless, great, we're gonna have a great job on this particular transaction and thank you so much. And you wanna write a note to your client saying, thank you for believing in me. I'm so excited we're gonna get your house sold. And in all of those things, that's where it really starts to build that relationship. So the first thing you're gonna do when you go under contract is you're gonna send them a note. The agent on the other side and the person that, or the selling, if you're representing the seller, that person. If you're representing the buyer, same thing, right? The buyer a note saying, oh my gosh, we're under contract, we're this close to your new house. Get excited with them, because you do it all the time, they don't. If you're excited with them, they're gonna stay excited through this whole process. Then, weekly follow-up. Weekly follow-up, regardless whether you have information or not, it should be done every week. Now you can schedule your times. Lots of people like to do it as a Monday morning. Monday morning follow-up, because they're used to talking to them on a Monday morning. So Monday morning follow-up every week on what's going on. Hey, I just want to let you know the appraisal's ordered this week, and we should be moving forward and the appraisal is going to take about a week to get done, but I want to let you know the appraisal is being done. We already got all the repairs taken care of. We're moving right along. That's great news. But if you're not following up with them weekly, they get confused. They haven't done this. So they're like, what's happening? What's going on? Where's the appraisal? Is the appraiser coming? What's happening? So a weekly follow-up keeps you in front of the client, and it gives you that opportunity to get referrals from them. Because when you're doing this on a consistent basis, it's very easy for you to say, one of the reasons that I talk to you on a weekly basis is I take care of my clients, and I'm never too busy for any referrals that you may be able to send me to take care of them the same way I'm taking care of you. Another great way is to do some pop buys. Stop by with something for them, but if they're waiting for the appraisal to come in and there's tension on that, maybe you drop by some bath salts and tell them, here's a nice relaxing book to read or something. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. It doesn't have to be a lot but it has to be from the heart, telling them that you're thinking about them and that you're excited that they're going to be purchasing this property or selling this property if they're the seller. Then watch your date and make sure your clients can be expected on what's going to happen. So what happens if the due diligence date goes by and we didn't get everything negotiated but we still want to buy the house? Can we still get it done? Probably not. Not if you didn't get negotiated. And your earnest money, you can't get your earnest money back from that. So you have to make sure that you watch your dates and get all your repairs done before the due diligence time. Get your appraisal done before the appraisal time, and your financing done before the financing and appraisal time. Those dates are very important that you watch, and they're clear to your client and what they can expect that happen. If you're representing a seller and the seller says, hey, we're under contract and we're past the date for the appraisal, and the buyer backs out now, do we get that earnest money? Because we've been off the market now for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. Of course you do. That's what those dates are all about. But you also need to represent that to the buyer that says, hey, if we move past this date, we are now putting your earnest money at risk. And that's fine if we're moving forward, we're going to close and buy this property. But if we move past this date, understand that we're past it. There's no going back with your earnest money. Very important that we watch that, because sometimes there's a lot of earnest money in stake here, and we want to have a conversation with them before, not after, or here's the kicker, not 15 minutes before the deadline. Talk to them 3 days, 4 days before. This is coming up. I want you to think about this. I'm going to call you the day of, or you call me before that if there's anything that you have any concerns. I'm going to call you the day of and say, okay, remember we talked a couple days ago? We still okay to move forward? Great. See how that communication just works so much better? They feel better, you feel better, everybody's feeling better in this. There's a great way to add some personal touches, especially here at Equity, as we've really negotiated and done some stuff with some video. So one of the things that we do a lot of video here, but you can also do some video to your clients. And we have some programs that you can get involved with and talk to your mentor about that, where you can send them a nice video, and that's kind of some personal touch to reach out to them. And that might be how you do your your weekly updates, is in video. Maybe you don't even have to talk to them. Hi, just calling you, letting you know. But your voice, you're talking, you can highlight some things in your email and you can send it to them. So it's a great way to communicate with them. And again, you already heard me say it once, but don't forget to ask for referrals during this process. If done right, truly, you can get 1 to 2 referrals for every transaction you're doing. If done right, and part of the if done right is you have to ask. And if you ask for a referral, guess what? You're going to get them. But if you don't ask, you're not going to get them. So just always remember, ask for referrals. Doesn't have to be in an annoying way. It's just in a way of, I've chose to build my business this way. And because of that, I take care of my clients. And that's why we have weekly calls and all of that. And that's why I'm standing here handing you bath salts, because I know you might be a little pressured. But I want to take care of future clients just like you, so I am never too busy for any type of a referral that you have from a family member or friend that's thinking about doing this. I want to take care of them. So see how that works? Now we get 1 or 2 referrals. Now our business is really starting to crank. Dot loop is another part of this. This can be very important. Your mentor is going to be able to help you with this. But you get a free dot loop account with Equity. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better with Equity every time you turn around. You get a free dot loop account with Equity, which is an online management of your document system, but also an electronic signature system that's out there. And it's so nice for you to be able to communicate with your clients and have everything right there at your fingertips. So if the client calls and says, hey, I have a question on the contract on this point, you can pull that contract right up on your phone, on your computer, anywhere that you're at. So we've taken care of that for you. But remember, when you get ready to do your dot loop, there's certain ways that we like to put them in here so that we can track all the documents, because Equity closes thousands of transactions every month. So when we're closing thousands of transactions, we want to be able to quickly get to them. Your mentor is going to be able to show you exactly how you put every file in and how you track every file and how you put them in order, so that when you get ready to get paid, which is the best thing, right? Getting paid for all this hard work you've done. You've been with these people for 45 days. You've shown them 150 houses. You're ready to get paid. You have everything in place, ready to go, so that when that wire comes in for your money that you have earned, and you've worked hard and earned it, then we mesh it with the dot loop file and we wire it into your account. And we can do that same day if you've done everything correctly. So your mentor is going to help you with that, help you with your dot loop. You guys are cutting so much time off of the learning curve by being in the mentor program, because sometimes this takes agents years to learn this stuff. And you're gonna learn this in these transactions that you're working with your mentor on. You're gonna learn it and you're gonna be so much ahead of everybody else, so you're gonna just be rocketing to a fantastic real estate career here at Equity. That's our goal, that's what you're gonna be able to do. Just in closing here with the under contract to close, sometimes people forget that this is the most important time of the transaction. You worked really hard to find them a house and now you wanna keep it under contract and you wanna close it. And so you wanna make sure you're doing all the things right. So remember, a couple things when you're working through the under contract to close. When working with buyers and there's negotiations going on for repairs, let your buyer know you're buying a used house usually, right? So we're looking for the big things, the major things. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for little cracked plates on the electrical plugs or a scrape and paint or that. We're looking for the big things, the furnace, the roof, the foundation, you know, those types of things. That will help you when you're negotiating with them, right? Because they get it antsy and they think, well, we should have them just fix everything. And it's like, well, okay, let's kind of bring them back to reality of what's the best way for them to get this house and get it for the best price, but make sure they're getting it in the best condition possible. And the same thing with sellers. Let the sellers know that, hey, if a large list comes over, this is what you pay me for, is to help negotiate that to the best for you and for the buyer, so that we get to the end of the day and everybody's happy. It happens most of the time, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it does. But the more that you communicate and talk to those people during that is the best time. And you're gonna be doing that during this under contract to close. That's why weekly follow-ups are so important in under contract to close. Just don't think, oh great, we're under contract, I'll see you guys in 30 days and we'll close it and then I'll make my money. Your big work happens really in the real estate world when people say, well, I found the house, or, you know, I don't know why you make so much money doing this when I found the house. You got to let them know by weekly talking to them, this is all the things I do every week to keep this thing going. So I'm happy you found the house, but I'm the one that's helping you get the house, because we're the professionals and we're making sure that you're getting taken care of as our client. Let me talk a little bit about agent on the other side, why that's important. Here at Equity, we have a thing called profit share, which is a fantastic tool for you as an agent. If you run across an agent that's working for another company and maybe they're disgruntled or they're not happy, or maybe even if they are happy, you can give them the opportunity to join Equity. If they join Equity, every time they have a transaction, for as long as you're at Equity and they're at Equity, you earn $100. Doesn't affect anything that you're doing with your price that you pay on your transaction. That comes directly from your broker and from us at the company. And what a great company that's growing by dealing with agents that you want to work with. These are people that you had a good position with. So remember, when you're writing a personal note to the other side, you're sometimes planting the seed of, hey, you should come over here to Equity because we got a great thing going here. You're going to help them make more money. You're going to help them be with a professional company. It's going to help them grow their business and do that. But the other thing too is we're going to reward you for helping, because we work by referral too, right? If we sell you on working by referral, we should work by referral, and that's what we do as a company. So in the long and short of all this, I really appreciate you watching this under contract to close. I really know that this is an exciting time for you, and just want to wish you the best of luck, and we'll talk soon.